Okay, so in the middle of morning first off. Okay. We're in the middle of the six constant mitzvot. We're going through the six constant mitzvot. The six, what they call the six constant mitzvot, the six that you should be thinking of all day and doing all day. Constant, permanent. Yeah.
Continue.
Okay, so the first one we said that is to believe that there is one God. And that's it. No more than that. No less than one God. And the second was that we should believe that there's nobody but that God. That there's no secondary gods. There's no other supernatural beings with any power. It's God, and that's it. That's the second one. The same thing as in the Sirah Debrot. I'm the Lord your God, and you shall know the gods before me. Yeah, there's no other gods. It's not there's just one God. It's just that there's one absolute one.
Yeah,
but as I say, by believing this and thinking on this whenever you do, you get a mitzvah. It's free brownie points.
Dysfunctional family with a husband and wife, and the kids got no guidance. They go off and go to the various hippie groups and things like that.
Yeah.
And then God is there.
Yeah, no, that's just.
Yes, I think it's
Yeah, but so the thing is that the Torah is not there to catch us out. The Torah is not there to trip us up. But yes, so just because it's something that we believe doesn't mean it's something we should. No? That's seed to the spiritual health of your body. Okay, so the first one that we said is that we believe that there is one God. The second one is that no other gods before him. The third one is that he is alone. The Yachdo, that he does not rule in partnership with anyone. The fourth one is one we're busy with. No, but yeah, so he doesn't. God, that's it. He doesn't have to ask permission. It's not. Yeah. So the thing is, always the question that arises from this is then why does it say in Bereshit that God consulted with the angels? Let us make man. Who's he talking to if he doesn't? So of course you get the famous one of Rashi, which says was God consulted with the angels to rule. But even if you're the ultimate ruler and you've got the ultimate say, it is a good thing to speak to other people to get the opinions. That is Rashi. Rambam comes up, not Ramban, comes up with a different one. Nachmanides, not Maimonides. Ramban says, who is he speaking to? Us, the Jews. Because what he's saying is, I want you to join me in creating the world, and I'm going to start making man, and you're going to complete making man. We are. How do we complete making man? With the bris. So we remove that final little piece, and that makes us partners with Hashem. No, because it's saying is that we then become that we're part of the creation. What we're saying is that God deliberately left us there for us to remove, that we become partners. It's like you see the Torah also say Moshe and Aharon, in other places Aharon for Moshe. They're partners, but it doesn't make sense because Moshe does far, far more than Aaron, but it still gives Aaron equal billing. And they say, how can it be? And that's because that even though he did so much less, he still got a part of it. Yeah. So even though he was only the spokesman, he's still part of it, and therefore he still gets the credit for it. It's the same thing. Even though God created the world and everything else, it's just if that one little thing for us to do, we still become part of it because we did the little bit. Because he's talking to us in the future.
Yeah. You don't understand. God created man, right?
Yeah.
You know, when your wife has a baby, you have to have the baby or not, then the nurse takes care of that baby afterwards by cleaning it and seeing that the heart works and just seeing that things are running correctly.
Yeah.
Then it's giving that to the angel to do. Is that right? Because he can't do every little thing.
No, God does every little thing. That is what we're saying, is that God alone does it. God might assign something to something else to do, but not because he can't. Now, this fallacy that God can't observe every single thing simultaneously and therefore know what's happening and go over it. It's not just. The point is that however much you look at the physical world, it's finite. The universe is finite. It doesn't matter how big the universe is, it's got boundaries, it's finite. It might be expanding, but it's still finite. God's infinite. So however many times you have finite things, for infinite being, it is minimalistic. If I say, well, it's a billion, God says, I can handle 500 trillion. I say it's 500 trillion, God says, I can handle 50 billion, quadrillion trillion. It doesn't matter however much reality, however much finite is, for infinite is meaningless. And God is infinite.
So he handles that person from beginning to the end.
Correct.
And every other person,
God knows. You know that's it. You know, with quantum mechanics, they say you cannot, when they're determining quantum mechanics with atoms, they look at the average, because you can't determine the specific. There's whole thing of chaos theory. I don't know where any specific atom is, but I can predict that an atom will be there. Which one, I don't know. God, on the other hand, will knows the location of every single atom in the universe simultaneously. We can't even predict the location of one. Yeah, okay. Okay, so then we... What? Yes. Yeah, it's got a fantastic chapter on it. Yes.
God created the world. Somebody else God created the world.
15 you can't do anything before one. It's infinite.
Is one Hashem, yeah. Okay. Now the fourth of the constant mitzvot was that we must love God. And we're saying that how do we show this love for God? What is the practical way of showing this love for God? It's through observing the mitzvot. That is the practical way that we show the love for God. And we got up to there. Yeah. That's part of the avodah, part of the mitzvot. So we come up, we were saying that that through observing the Torah, which includes tefillah, because we say that Abraham started morning service, Yitzchak afternoon, Yaakov evening. That's all part of Torah. She'ein lo erech v'lo kates v'hityashev ha'ava b'libo v'behechrach. We take that God is no beginning and no end, and this heart should be in it. And if now he continues, we got up to last time, then Yan HaMitzvah, and the core of the mitzvot, Shirei Ha'adam Lahasim Kol Megamato V'chol Mashavato Achar Hava Hashem Yitrach. That a person should be putting all of his thought, all of his effort, everything within him to love God. ויעריך בליבו כי כל מה שיש בעולם מעשה ובנים וכבוד הכל הוא כאין נגד אהבתו יתברך. That should come, he should realize that everything, with all of his heart, that everything he has in this world, his wealth, his children, or any honor he gets, that everything comes. Hakol hu ka'ayin neged, that everything is meaningless, opposite the love of God. That you should be happy to, somebody wants to mock you because you believe in God. Okay, so I don't have kavod, big deal. I love God. If I happen to not have any children, God forbid, I should still love God. I'm poor, I should still love God. Your love of God should not be dependent on anything else. It's unconditional. Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah. Everything comes all the time. No, what's it? Just no. It's saying that you accept what's happened. It doesn't mean you can't attempt to change it. It doesn't mean you can't attempt to do better. It's just saying something has happened. Yes, people give up, but that's the wrong attitude. If you accept that everything comes, if we sit on Yom Kippur, we say, God, you're going to decide who's going to be rich, who's going to be poor, who's going to live, who's going to die, who's going to be happy, who's going to. Okay, well, I'm not going to go work tomorrow because God's going to decide I'm going to be rich. You can't. I mean, you can't take that attitude. You've got to do your part. Everything. It comes back to Koheles. Hevel hevel makor hevel. But that shouldn't be why you do it. It's not. That's what Bekavot, Lord here Eved, so Avad look about plus. Ella here Eved, so look about, Hasset Avod, Kadai Avat, you shouldn't be like the slave that works for his master in order to get a reward. Let's be like the slave that works because he loves his master. The rabbis try to motivate. The rabbis try to motivate. Ultimately, that should not be why you do it. I mean, there's the famous story. I forget which rabbi it was about. Stayed in Vilna, and to get an etrog was a big thing. You had one or two in the entire community. So he gives the shamas of the shul all the money they collected. He tells them to go buy an etrog for him. Goes to buy an etrog, goes to Italy to buy an etrog, and he finds a person with a beautiful etrog, and the person says, I don't want money. I want the reward that your rabbi would get from using this etrog. The reward the rabbi gets in the world to come from using this etrog. The shaman's thinking, how can I do that? But he told me to pay whatever it costs. So he agrees. And he brings it back to the rabbi and says, but rabbi, I've done a terrible thing. I didn't pay money. I agreed that the reward you would get from this will go to the other person. And the rabbi starts dancing with joy. He says, I don't get it. Why are you so happy? You're not going to get a reward from you? He says, yes. That's why I'm so happy. Because I'm only going to do this out of pure love for wanting to do it. Always, as much as I try not to think the reward, there's always at the back of your mind that I'm getting a reward. Somebody else could get the reward. I'm not going to get the reward. I can now do it purely out of love.
But what about that? He said, God, work for what we want, not for have a love of it.
Yeah, but
love of it what you will.
But he served Lavan, not God. Let's not confuse the two. Okay. Vayigah tamid bevakashat chokhmat Torah lema'an yasig yiriyah b'Hashem, and should come continuously and should look into the wisdom of the Torah in order that he makes sure that he keeps his knowledge of God. He should keep this foremost. V'kovah et machshavato b'inyanim hagashmiyim v'havlei ha'olam shelo l'shem shamayim rak yinhag u'la'asig kavod b'tel asay zo anshor gadol. He says that the person that spends all his time, spends all of his effort and all of his learning on the art of the things of this world, on the hevlei, the rubbish of this world. He's connected with Shem Shayim just in order to come to get enjoyment and to get kavod, to get honor. He renders it null and void. As this assay of loving, of always keeping in mind this love of God. He's got other stuff on his mind. And the fifth one, Liyot Yireh Hashemayim Yitbarach לראות יראת שמיים יתברך על פניו תמיד לבלתי יכתב על זה נאמר את השם לקח תירא. The first one is that we should be in awe of God. Hashem al panav tamid divrati yechata. You should always keep this in mind. You should always have in mind this awe of God, in order that He does not come to sin, as it says, that you should be in awe of Hashem your God. But you'll find sometimes fear of God. Well, I'm just saying it's awe of God, because it could be either. And in Rashid's Chochmah, he makes the point that if you do the mitzvot out of fear, I'm going to get punished. That's not fear of God. That's love of yourself. Because it's about me. So we need, so if you say if it's awe of God, it's like a child doing something, if it's in awe of his father, it's a positive trait. I'm doing it because I'm in awe of God. God's my creator, God's my ultimate father. Therefore, it's good enough. Now, the only reason you're not doing it because you're going to get caught. At heart, you're enough. You're just not doing it because you don't want to go to jail. It's the same thing here. If you're only doing the mitzvot because you're scared of the punishment, you're not doing the mitzvot for out of love of God. You're doing the mitzvot out of love of self. ומי שבא דבר עבר לידו חייב להאיר רוח לתת את ליבו באותו הפרק, והקדוש ברוך הוא כשגיח בו עשה בן האדם אף אם יהיה במשך מעשיהם. And the person that comes, he's got so the sin has come into his hand, he's got a chance to do it. He is forbidden to let his heart think of this. He wouldn't even contemplate doing this. It should be that he turns his heart away from it. That God overlooks, that God orders. He is the mashgiach, he's the manahel. Everything that it comes, everything that he does, and he comes, he puts stuff before him to see if he's got to do it. So you got a chance to do something. God's saying, here's your chance to do a mitzvah by not doing it. You should not even contemplate doing it. Because even contemplating doing it would be a negative. Even contemplating doing it is saying, for a moment you're not thinking of God as God is the mashgiach of the world. It's just saying, maybe I can do it and get away with it. But if you think that God's orders everything, is watching every moment, you can't even contemplate doing it. You should not even be something.
How can you avoid temptation?
Well, they said, but the moment the temptation arrives, yes, the temptation's there, but you should immediately try to say no. You shouldn't think.
We thought he's going to do something.
Yeah. So, as he says, exactly.
I think we should do a good deed.
He says that's ultimately what it is. He says that's what we should be doing. You do it for the sake of doing a mitzvah. Yes, we talk about the ultimate reward, but that should not be why you're doing it. It's a consequence, but the reason for doing it shouldn't be because of that. No. At a lesser, yes. So the thing is, so just like okay. No, so the thing is that just like so, if you do a mitzvah out of fear, you don't get punishment. You're doing it for yourself. You're doing it out of reward. The only reason I'm doing this is because I will be rewarded. It's for yourself. Ultimately, you should be doing the mitzvah because God has ordered it, not because you're going to get rewarded, not because you're going to get punished. We realize ultimately, yes, if I don't do it, there'll be punishment. If I do it, there'll be a reward. But that should not be the motivation behind doing it or not doing it. The motivation behind doing it should be because I love God and I want to perform the mitzvah. Yes, it's reduced. If our thought is there is also reward, if there is also, I'm not doing it perfectly, but I'm doing it because I'm doing it out of love of God and because of reward. Lesser good than just out of love, but still good. I'm doing it only because there's reward, then it's for me and not for God. And there's no mitzvah. No. We're doing it to train ourselves. We're doing it because prayer is hakarasa Torah. No, but the point is, what the thing is, what we're saying is that I'm not doing the mitzvah for the purpose. I'm doing mitzvah. Yes, I'm going to get benefit from it, but often the reason I'm doing. But the point is that if the purpose behind giving the tzedakah is because God said give the tzedakah, then you're giving it because God said so. Yes. Thank God. God gives us stuff for which we can feel good. God gives us stuff which benefits us whilst obeying Him. We do get a benefit, but that should not be the motivation behind it. So the motivation behind it should be because God ordered it. But the fact that we're getting benefit at the same time is great. Yeah,
because just having love for the next person, isn't it?
Yeah, but the point is that yes, we don't keep it. That's it's difficult because yes, it's not always true. And you,
out of guilt.
Out of love.
You feel bad. So you do good, but not for the good reason. For the work you do. You can say.
yeah.
You're keeping God's creation going, Harvey. Keeping God's creation going. Because it's back into
Yes. Okay, but the thing is that's the whole point of Rambam's 8 levels of charity. The Rambam's got his 8 levels of charity. He says, what's the worst type of charity? When the person has to ask and you give with, that's the worst. What's the best? You give somebody a job that they don't need charity. So yes, there's good ways and bad ways. But what we're saying here, so let's just finish off this thought, was that when something bad comes to hand, you should immediately do it. Immediately not even consider doing it. Because you might not think, I can do it, who's going to know? And as he says, as it is written, a person would think he can do something in hiding and I won't know about it. He knows. So if something bad comes to hand, if there's something there, immediately put it out of mind. You should not even consider doing it because God knows everything that's hidden. Yes. Yes, but that's what he's quoting here. That's salt.
When you do the mitzvah, you have to do something to start. How that started around you don't think you stop when you help the guy. And that's the head of the mitzvah. Afterwards, once you're supposed to admit to yourself, I've done the mitzvah, you recognize that you've done the mitzvah.
Yeah. No, it's okay to recognize you've done the mitzvah. The fact that you did it purely to help somebody and out of love for the other person is great. The fact that you've done a mitzvah, you should. This is what you're talking in the Mishnah Berurah, where he says that you should, every night you should contemplate what you've done during the day, so you can find what was good, so you can try to repeat it, and what was bad, so you can try to avoid it in the future. But miracles happen, so you should realize it. You should every single day be going through and considering it. So that is, yes. So you should be, so yes, when you do something, you should realize it's a mitzvah. Let me try to do it again tomorrow. And if I did something wrong, I did that wrong today, let me try to avoid doing it tomorrow. That is the whole point. That's what we're saying in the Mishnah Berurah. We say that you need to contemplate this, the whole thing about alertness, about being aware, knowing what you're doing so you can take note of it. It's the same thing here. We're saying you should be, when it goes very well with what we're saying here. If something bad arrives, immediately recognize it and step away. Don't even contemplate doing it. Step away from it. As soon as you're aware that it is something bad, step away. Don't even think about doing it. Don't think, oh, I can get away with this. You know, it's that famous one in the Talmud where it says if you contemplate doing something wrong, put on black clothes, go to another city where you're not knowing and do it. Really? You got a temptation to do something now. I must go home, I must change my clothes, I must go to another city, and that is at least a day's walk, and then do it. You really think the guy's still going to do it? The point they're saying is, realize what you're doing. That consequence, come on. You're really going to go and take 2 days out of your life to do this bad thing, one day to another city, another day back. Yeah. Well, let's just hope it's not something so. We'll continue on Wednesday. Thanks.